a child's skin and a adult skin. There is one major difference that the water content of a pediatric skin is much higher. पानी की मात्रा उसके अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा होती है. उसकी वजह से the skin remains soft and supple, and जितना हम बड़े होते जाते हैं, the gradual aging process बड़ा होता जाता है, उसके साथ साथ we start and begin to lose water. दूसरा essential difference है जो pediatric skin में lipids are of a different nature. एक लिपिड का टाइप होता है जो 50% रहता है, which is known as ceramides. अब ये चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट इसलिए हैं कि हम जितने जब बातें करेंगे मॉइस्चराइजर्स की, तो उसका कंटेंट और उसके इंग्रेडिएंट्स बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाएंगे. क्योंकि अगर हम पैराफिन की बात करें या वैसलीन की बात करें या लाइट लिक्विड पैराफिन, तो दे आर वेरी वेरी इनएक्सपेंसिव प्रोडक्ट्स. कि मतलब आप तेली बाजार से या तेलीवाड़ा से 200-300 रुपए का 1 किलो या 1 लीटर मिल जाएगा. लेकिन अगर हम सेरामाइड्स की बात करें तो इट विल कॉस्ट अस अपवर्ड ऑफ 1000 रुपीज फॉर 100 ml, and that will determine the quality of moisturizers also. So during the course of our discussion, we will see how can we correlate what type of moisturizers to prescribe in a particular scenario. So first difference was the water content of the pediatric skin. The second difference is the amount of ceramides or the lipids in the skin. In a childhood skin, the percentage of ceramide is 50%, while in an adult skin, this is gradually diminishing and reaches about 14%. You'll see that in a photograph. The fourth point is that as a childhood skin will lose more water. The transepidermal water loss is immense in a बच्चों का स्किन. तो actually after notebandi na, this pen drive is also not working. 10 रुपए थे वो भी सर ने ले लिए.
That was fine.
पेटीएम करना.
पेटीएम करना पड़ेगा.
I think there's a virus here. It has eaten all the files. No, देखते जाओ. Thank you so much for your patience. So, quickly recapitulating, we are talking about pediatric skin care. This is the flow of our discussion. We'll talk about basics, we'll go on to pediatric skin, how is it different. We'll see certain frequently asked questions, look at certain common myths, and finally close with emerging trends. There is no conflict of interest. These are the facts about skin which we were talking about. Like skin is the first barrier. We all know that it is the largest organ in the body. If in an adult you were to strip all skin and weigh it, it will likely to weigh upward of 2 kilograms. There is epidermis, dermis, subcutaneous tissue. Epidermis is the upper and the outermost layer. Dermis constitutes about 90% of skin. Below that we have all the blood vessels, organs, the nerve systems, and it is the largest sensory organ also. Let's talk a little about the protective barrier because it is important from the pharmacotherapy point of view. We need agents which will protect us from microbes, chemical agents, UV radiation. So all this protection is given by the layers of the skin. So in case there is a damage to skin, we will need separate agents to take care of all these actions. This is the role of skin lipids. Stratum corneum, as we are born, is comprised of that 50% is ceramides. So 50% ceramides. Ceramides are a type of lipid which offer the best protection. They retain the maximum water and they are the key ingredient in any best quality moisturizers. So that is the take home message. Other than that, we have free fatty acids and we have cholesterol also. That's all. Next, please. So let's now look at 5 or 6 frequently asked questions. Next, please. How is pediatric skin different from adult skin? Next. This is the diagram which shows on the left we have infant skin, on the right we have adult skin. The basic essential difference is look at the water molecules. The hydration of a childhood skin is much different. It retains more water, it is soft, it is supple, and that is the basic reason. Next. There are certain anatomical differences also which begins from birth, like vernix caseosa. The stratum corneum is less developed. There is denser distribution of eccrine sweat glands. There is higher surface area. There is immature vascular network. Sebaceous gland तो होते ही नहीं है because they become more prominent at puberty when acne starts becoming. Next, please. There are physiological differences. Higher water content, reducing sweating. The child cannot sweat as well. Greater susceptibility to infection and greater susceptibility to external irritants. So it is a very fragile skin. Now why is all this important? Next. These are the implications. How are these implied? That means a child is much more prone to pustules, it is much more prone to sunburn, to infections and water loss also. Next please. These are the other clinical implications. The most important is prone to dryness. So that means a child is very prone to transepidermal water loss. There is a poor thermoregulation. They are vulnerable to pH change. Each of these has a clinical importance which we will briefly talk about. Next please. Now that we know what are the essential anatomical, structural, functional differences, we want to know what is the importance of proper pH. Next. Babies are born with 6.6 to 7.5 skin pH, and as we grow this pH turns acidic. Why is this important? This has a huge relevance in day-to-day life when we want to prescribe a soap for pediatrician, for a pediatric population. Next please. The closer to normal pH a soap or a cleanser is there, the more it will not irritate the skin and more skin friendly it will become. So what is the ideal skin friendly pH? This is 5.5, which can be afforded by Syndet Pass. Next please. Coming to the most important funda which is there in skin care management of a child patient is what is the root cause of many problems in skin problems in children. What is the root cause? Any suggestions? Very right. It is dryness. If the skin of a baby is dry, it will be associated with atopic dermatitis. It can lead to infections and overall poor skin health in general. Next please. This is a diagrammatic representation of a healthy skin barrier. On one side you have a healthy barrier, the other you have a depleted or a dry barrier. the more dry it is, more it is prone to all the allergens. Next. So it will suddenly be more prone, a dry skin is more prone to Staphylococcus aureus, allergens, mites, and ultimately it will trigger so many cascades. Next. So ultimately, a dry skin is more prone to develop atopic dermatitis. And atopic dermatitis today is the most common skin condition in developed world, in USA. In India and Southeast Asia, we are still battling infections and other things, but in developed countries, atopic dermatitis is the real challenge. So this is a typical distribution of atopic. We are not going to talk much, but we are trying to look at the genesis of atopic. So here comes the role of, so what to do? If we were to talk about dryness, we want to know about moisturizers. So the basic thing is we have to prevent dryness, and how can we prevent? We can prevent by hydration. Hydration from outside and hydration from inside. So from outside, moisturizers are the cornerstone of therapy. So the basic fundamental of skin care, whether preventive or therapeutic, is to provide moisturization, which can be creams, ointment, lotions, etc., etc. Right? And also we need to avoid drying. So that is also contributory. We should not at any cost try to deplete the already existent water. Next. So emollient therapy plays an integral role in management of established atopic dermatitis. Not only atopic, it helps in preventing of so many skin conditions. If skin is dry, it will lead to complications, so you have to use moisturizers, right? And correct use of moisturizers, we'll just talk next. So this is another study from UK which shows that, study held in UK, that 47% fewer cases of atopic dermatitis in a group where moisturization was used from birth. So right type of moisturizers is the key to prevention of skin disorders, especially in winter. Next. So what are emollients? Well, emollients soften the skin, they reduce the itching, and oils or oil-based moisturizers used to be the best emollients. But nowadays that is a myth. We again discuss this in detail because that is a proper myth. But there are so many moisturizers, one better than another. But there is a rule which is one, that is known as the 3-minute rule, which says that the best time to apply any emollient is within 3 minutes of taking a bath. You wet the skin or skin jab gila ho, so within 3 minutes any emollient should be applied. That is the best way to maintain a soft and supple skin. Next. Third frequently asked question is, how are products for children different? Next. Kids have a sensitive skin, they need products formulated without irritating ingredients. एक तो माइल्ड होता है. अब माइल्ड क्या होता है, ये डेफिनेशन बहुत ही डिफरेंस है. They have to be gentle, they ideally should be fragrance free. उसमें कोई डिओड्रेंट इस तरह की चीज नहीं रहनी चाहिए. क्लेंजर और सोप्स टेक्निकली बहुत बड़ा टर्म है. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. तो व्हाट वी नीड इज माइल्ड क्लेंजर. इसके लिए हमें माइल्ड क्या होता है, जिसके अंदर एल्कली नहीं होती. Alkali, a normal traditional soap contains sodium lauryl sulfate, ethyl sulfate and various other alkalis. वो alkalis के फॉर्म होते हैं. आप ब्रांड को और कवर को छोड़ दो तो अंदर बेसिक सोप इज जस्ट alkali. So that means एक 555 soap and a Lux International soap are essentially same. And second difference is the total fatty matter which is mentioned on each pack is TFM. So total fatty matter up to 80% leads to a super fatted soap. अगर हम लक्स का देखें तो TFM is 60%. That means it is one of the most drying soap. It's not a moisturizing soap. Next. So what we need in a sensitive childhood age group patient or any children or any child is a soap substitute. It is best not to use a soap at all. अब soap substitutes can come in the form of a soap shape, लेकिन they need not be soap technically. Like our Indian pharmacopoeia describes soap as a certain technical object. उसमें कुछ परसेंटेज एल्कली रहती है, कुछ फैट रहता है, लेकिन सारे सोप नहीं रहते. So we have to see, I cannot take so many brand names, but we'll discuss unofficially later that soap substitutes are by far less drying and irritating than soap. So cleansing and moisturizing formulations, soap, cream, sunscreen, सारी चीजें mild रहना जरूरी है. Next. So what are the properties of an ideal cleanser in a childhood? They should be mild, they should not disturb acid mantle, that means they should be pH balanced, they must be able to remove unwanted material, वो सारे cleanser करते हैं, that fat content रहना चाहिए, should not irritate the skin and should not induce dryness or itching. Next. पांचवा frequently asked question है, what is the role of diet in skin care? Essentially speaking, we are all what we eat. So that is true for children also. If we encourage the use of junk food and other material, there is no dietary restrictions as such, but if we encourage the use of such material and we expect that the child will remain healthy skin-wise, that is a myth. So on the same angle, we must encourage healthy eating also. There is no substitute for green leafy vegetables. There is no substitute for adequate water content. Next. Water is important in adults and water is very important. Water means any sort of hydration which can be there in milk or milk products except aerated drinks. Next please. So that means if there is lack of water in a child's skin, it will precipitate dryness and ultimately trigger so many derma conditions. Next. So all sorts of skin hydration from inside and outside has to be maintained. Right? Next. Now let's see certain common myths which are there regarding skin care in childhood age group. Next. Children are little adults. What this means is that basically the functioning is same whether it's a child, whether it's an adult. Next, this is one of the biggest one. We have already seen the structure, function and composition of skin, which shows us that the child skin is very different from an adult skin. So both are totally different. Next please. Versus water retention, versus skin hydration, versus dryness, UV protection. So at every level we see that a child's skin is very different. So this myth stands. Next. Next. Second myth is adult skincare products are good enough for babies. Not so. Next. We have seen that a child's skin is different at every level. So it needs specially devised mild products which are enough to handle those sensitive parameters, which can handle those fragile parameters. Next please. This is the biggest myth, which is the biggest cultural myth, cultural ethos. Like oil in India is a cultural ethos. We have songs on that, champi, tel, malish, everything. It is deeply ingrained. But nowhere else in the world, except maybe Africa, people use oil. Nobody uses hair oil, body oil. They have cream, pomade, other things which are products for grooming. But only in India, oil is very, very common. So this is the biggest healthcare myth that oil massage is good for a child's skin. Massage is good, no doubt. There is no two opinion. There is no doubt. You have to go for a massage. A child benefits hugely from massage. But the medium of massage is not important. So oil, if we add, especially in winters, it is likely to dry the skin further. This is the biggest myth of all times. So we need to review that. Next please. So I'd like to speak more about oil, but the point here is that mustard oil, that kadwa tel, even olive oil or baby oil, like for example commonly used baby oils are all synthetic products. They are paraffin derivatives, they are petroleum byproducts. So how can you apply such strong things on a tender, fragile baby skin? So that kind of myth should be busted at every level. Massage is good, but medium of massage is not good. You could do a massage with talcum powder or a drop of coconut oil, which is the only organic oil in India. Next.
What is that? What is that?
This one.
Product.
Yeah, children do not require sunscreens. Up, the concept of sunscreen is elitist in India because we handle so much of low socioeconomic strata patients. We think that sunscreens are not essential. And second myth which is going around is that sunscreens cause vitamin D deficiency. As it is, there is a huge deficiency of vitamin D. It's a global deficiency. But these 2 points are very important. The moment a child is born, he starts or she starts to age. And a significant portion of that skin aging is UV rays. So, single most preventive strategy for any age group, including children. Yes, that's true that we do not get melanoma, we do not get skin cancer, that is less common in our age group or almost rare, but we still do need sunscreens. So the single gift you can give your child or prescribe your patient is to advise a soft, different, non-chemical, zinc-based sunscreen or any other non-chemical. There are so many around. Sunscreen is a huge market and that is a separate discussion topic, but there are so many different good quality, inexpensive sunscreens which are now available to us. And sunscreens do not cause vitamin D deficiency. That chapter is closed. There have been so many studies worldwide. So worldwide, even in countries where cancer is there, they advise sunscreen and they say it does not cause vitamin D deficiency. Next. So myth number 5 is when it comes to skin care, you get what essentially it means that all the good quality products are expensive. Not so. Next. And second is that all natural and botanical, anything which has herbal is supposed to be good. Truly not so. So it is your call. You have to, next. Most affordable drugstore products you will find, if you make an effort, you will find that majority of essential working products are very, very inexpensive. Except some. Obviously, cost will play a role, quality control will play a role, that fragrance, that build. No doubt some products are very good and some are expensive. But if you make an effort, look at the ingredients, know your ingredients, you will find that some of the products are really, really very, very inexpensive. Next. So what is new? So we looked at certain frequently asked questions, we looked at certain myths. So what is new in the emerging pediatric, what is the emerging trend in delicate skin? Next week. There is a concept which is coming or which is already there of extra delicate skin. What is extra delicate skin? Now this is a syndrome defined by occurrence of whenever a small child begins to experience unpleasant stimuli, tingling, burning sensation, redness, hives, urticaria due to normal stimuli. AC में जाता ही खुजली शुरू हो जाती है. बाहर स्कूल से घर आता है, धूप से उतर के आए, लाल हो गया चेहरा. तो कई बार वो डिपेंड करता है कि या उसको अर्टिकेरिया शुरू हो गया, चपाकी जैसे कहते हैं. तो वो एक कहीं छोटा बच्चे को एक्स्ट्रा डेलिकेट स्किन तो नहीं है. Now why is it important? This is most important concept in recent years. Next. Extra delicate skin can develop into atopic dermatitis. So this is the bottom line. अगर कोई जल्दी बच्चा आ रहा है जो बिना बात के itching, irritation या खुजली के साथ प्रेजेंट कर रहा है, itching is the most common symptom. So that could lead to atopic diathesis, which is not limited only to skin. Next, there is a concept of atopic march. पहले स्किन पे फाइंडिंग्स आएंगी, उसके बाद रेस्पिरेटरी, फिर छींके, rhinitis, and this can carry on through the adulthood, maybe incapacitating the patient in the later years. So bottom line is, this is the most important preventive strategy to take care of a small child. Next. Therapy with hydrating topical agents. What this means is that even if we diagnose extra delicate skin, this can be handled. This can be handled at every level. This can be prevented. That is a concept which means that atopic dermatitis, which was largely thought to be inherited, it still is. There is a genetic component, but it can be prevented by early intervention. So where comes the role of all of you experts? If you see a child which is early, most of you are likely to see children, and that child has a sensitive or an extra sensitive skin, then proper prescription of a good moisturizer. What is good? Maybe with ceramides. And proper handling of those myths and frequently asked questions will lead to prevention of atopic dermatitis. So that is a very, very important concept. Next please. And also equally important to moisturizer is the cleansers. Most patient will not think twice about buying a soap for their babies. They'll buy the most like the best cartoon looking or the best fragrant wala soap, best खुशबू जिसमें आती है. There are so many available in the market, and most of them are without quality standards. So you have to choose a mild, fragrance-free, Syndet bar, pH balanced. All these things are there. Actually, derma is a very, very grey market. There are products, sir, which are marketed as cosmetics, which do not require any litigation, licensure. And same time we have pharmacy-based products which require extensive this thing. So many companies, they get by using dubious means by marketing cosmetic products in a like cosmetic base under a C license. They do not require any licensing, and they prescribe them through doctors. So which adds authenticity, but they are lacking quality. So this is one area where IMA can intervene and bring in certain restrictions. It's a huge market. It's a $330 billion market just in India. Next. So why cleansers should be pH balanced? So just like moisturizer, we need cleansers also which are pH balanced. Next. So finally, what are the take-home messages? 3, 4, 5. Next week. Children have sensitive skin. They need products formulated without irritating ingredients. What are these ingredients? The more you read about them, you will learn about them. But make it a habit to see every personal care product which you come across. The soap, common soap, the oil which is on your shelf. There is a study that an average person daily uses about 7 personal care products like perfumes, deodorant, soap, oil, Ferrara. So all these things which are on your shelf, you try to look and go through their ingredients. It will open a world of information for you. You will be surprised how they are pricing same thing, same company, different prices. Second is moisturization after bath time to prevent dry skin. We saw that dry skin is the most common thing. So finally, you have to prevent that dry skin by moisturization, and there is no substitute for sunscreens. Next. We are just finished. Extra delicate skin can be identified and prevented. So extra delicate skin, which is the harbinger of atopic dermatitis, can be prevented. And there is a huge importance of pH balanced cleansers. There are so many good quality soap and soap products or cleanser which are not soaps technically, but they are pH balanced, so they are ideal for a baby's skin. Finally, next. What not to do? Well, if you come across a small child with certain skin problems, please do not underestimate the problem, because this can cascade into full-blown atopic dermatitis and lead to problems. Second is, please do not prescribe potent steroids. For that matter, any steroids. There are so many steroids available in the market, and all of them ultimately in children will lead to harm. And oil is a myth, so you must impress that oil are not good for the skin. Massage is good, but not the medium of massage. Next please. And there are so many lal tel, nila tel, all sorts are available. When should you refer? Now, like dermatologists also have to pay their EMI. So, in a pediatric age group patients, one must get one opinion. There is so much happening in the field of atopic dermatitis, dryness, ichthyosis, we have retinoids, we have biologicals, we have tacrolimus, p-macrolimus. So, it's always worthy to take one opinion. Complicated cases, infected cases, or any case where a child where more than 20% body surface area is involved, it's better to take one dermatologist's opinion. And all cases of GO case, God only knows. It is best to get one opinion. And finally, you must trust your family, friendly neighborhood dermatologist. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
There are certain children who in the winter, while giving them normal food, they are sweating.
Yes, sir.
And those sweating lies inside the vest and all that. They get atopic dermatitis.
So that's a very, very good observation. In fact, there are, sweating in certain areas of body is a known sign. Actually, atopic dermatitis is a clinical diagnosis. And there are criteria. There used to be Hannifin and Rajka criteria. Nowadays, we have modified Hannifin and Rajka criteria, which comprises of 14 major signs, 7 major and 7 minor signs. And sweating in certain areas is one of the signs. Dry skin is another. Dermographism, Harcock sign, searchlight sign.
How do we manage all that?
Again, we have each case is different, but even in those cases, there are certain general measures and there are specific measures. Sweating cannot be taken in isolation. You have to look at the totality.
What I mean to say is in the winter time nowadays, which is winter time,
Sir,
he's playing inside,
yes.
that is hair and head and all that. He's sweating. And he must be sweating in and around the...
Such children are in fact more prone to thermoregulatory changes. So, even when they are sweating, we must insist that they should be covered properly.
No, they are covered, sir.
Huh.
With a cotton vest and all that.
Right.
Still, in spite of that, he gets a lot of...
No, sweating is a physiological phenomena.
How do we, what do we should do to prevent his sweating to reduce sweating?
No, prevention of sweating is not recommended because that is a cholinergic activity. We cannot give anticholinergic. But we can take care that the skin is not damaged by the sweating. We can give, talc.
20%, how do we prevent
Yes, sir. All these powders which are there, which are not talc based, starch based powders. We have like so many, mycodum C, mycodum, there's an endless list. All these are starch based powders, they are made from rice. They absorb the sweating and they get absorbed in the thing. So this is another angle which we need to look at. We commonly use talcum powder like, for example, Nycil and other things. They are talc based. They will cake on the skin. They might lead to granuloma also. So we should encourage the use of starch based powders, which
What are they?
mycodum C, Honapet, plenty, there's a whole list. The base is there, and we do not essentially need a medicine impregnated powder. We just need a basic starch which will be absorbent. And daily vest, there is no substitute for a good cotton, Egyptian cotton or soft clothing which is next to skin. All these atopic or dry skin should avoid wearing woolen clothes directly on the skin. Because wool is a very, very strong irritant. They should wear only cotton. Thank you. Thank you.
One more question.
मैडम मैम we are short of time. एक थोड़ा सा वही पूछना but I'm avoiding, but it's very important. A chubby child is brought to the doctor and the mother says इसकी skin इतनी खराब क्यों लग रही है? At what stage do we distinguish a dry skin from atopic? And because whether a doctor wants it or not, the doctor will be changed because mother will want a quick relief and steroid will invariably be used. So a few guidelines regarding issues, and when we start suspecting, when we actually send the patient to a dermatologist. Just
Most important point. This is a very, very good question. The point is that while we are discouraging the use of steroids, if at all we have to use, like we have to deliver very fast, use something which is very mild and safe. Like one product is mometasone. It is a non-fluorinated. It is safe. The safety is very well documented. It can be used around the eyes. But beyond a certain limit, we have to know the thumb rule that quantity should matter. If the child ends up putting a whole tube, like 5-gram tube daily or more, then we need to move on to steroid sparing agents. And dry skin is the harbinger. So we must use products which are good moisturizers to take care of prevention of dryness.